We're going to talk about the process of creating awesome presentations. Yes, you can do it, but we have to overcome some hurdles because part of being a good presenter is getting over that fear of you don't know the topic, you're afraid you're going to stumble. There's a whole series of things, but let's talk about them as we go through. The most important part is hook them with impact. You want to draw them in. We've talked about hooks in writing. Let's do the same thing of putting hooks in your presentation to get them to really be involved and listen to you carefully and even passionately. Yes, you can do that. First of all, tell them what you're going to tell them. Secondly, amazing, you tell them. And then thirdly, tell them what you told them. It really is a good methodology of going through the process. Don't get too many points involved. Just sit down and tell them, we're going to talk about this topic, then talk about the topic, and then tell them about the topic again. People, the repetition sits down there and sinks in and can hold much better. Good afternoon. You may not have thought about identity theft, but neither did I until my identity was stolen. Twice. Today, I'll describe how our supposedly private credit, health, employment, and other records are vulnerable to theft and how you can protect yourself. Notice how we weave in there what's in it for them, how you can protect yourself. There's 5 ways. You told them what you're going to tell them. There's 5 ways of security you supposedly have private files can be compromised. You tell them. In conclusion, what can you do to protect an unauthorized invasion of your private life? I point out 5 main steps. Oh, wait a minute. You've been talking about the whole time. The 5 main steps in the body. You told them what you're going to tell them. We're talking about identity theft protection, the 5 main steps, and in closing. Finally, let me close by sharing. So you want to sit down and go through and boom, boom, boom. You're going to finally close and then tell them what you told them in the summary form. But you really want to have a linear presentation so they really get at what's happening. So capture the listener's attention, get them involved. Identify yourself as to who you are and why is it that they should be listening to you? Why are you an expert? And preview your main points because you're sort of priming the pump. You're getting the brain to start working. Okay, identity theft, 5 points. Okay, 5 points, identity theft. You have to sit down and prepare them to listen to what you're going to tell them. And that way, they won't surprise them and they can start aligning their thoughts into that process and the pathway that you're going to go through. Give them a promise, satisfaction, clarity. Give them a moving story. Sometimes I've seen some great speakers. They sit down there, they have you laughing 1 minute, and literally the next minute they have you on the edge of tears, and some people are crying in the process, and then they're laughing again. It's up, down, and we remember things as the emotion, the strong emotion sits down there and captures our imagination because the point is then driven home even deeper by the emotion that's captured in the process. Have a demonstration. Bring somebody up. If you're part of a large organization, sit down and bring up the president and make fun of the president if they can handle it. Their ego isn't too big, okay, in the process. But people have fun with that because they'll love the person even more after it's all done as you go through. Have props, have samples as you go through. I've done some weird stuff, anywhere from dressing strangely to having a ninja complete with the sword coming over there to being led into an audience in chains by Attila the Hun. Yes, I too was a slave to Attila, bound in chains, and I had to tell his story, or he would have probably used the sword he had by his side in the process. Yes, I have a dream. Sit down and have different aspects of it. Questions. All these do things that capture the attention, capture the imagination. Sometimes a shocking thing really helps an awful lot. Eye contact. Make certain when you're going through an audience that you're watching them. Here's a normal speaker's trick. You always want to look on the back third of the audience. That way, if you're looking back over this way, over here, everybody between you and that back person in the back row, they think you're looking at them as you go through and you watch the whole audience. So you have eye contact with everybody. Leave the lectern. I personally don't like lecterns, but leave it and walk around the stage. Some people are terrified to death to do that. If you have to, hold on to the lectern like it's your baby blanket as you go through, but make certain that you try to get out from behind the lectern. Have visuals. It really, when you have digital presentations, right now you're looking at a visual. You have me talking over here, but you're looking at an orange the background with a white apple in the middle of it. It's a nice visual. Make certain your attire reflects as you go through that you are credible in the process. Sometimes statistics really captures your audience, but always, 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 always what's in it for me, with them, with them, with them a lot as you go through. Describe your position, your knowledge, your experience. Wow, you're an expert in that area. Dress professionally. I mean, that's cute that all these billionaires walk around in blue jeans and t-shirts, but wait a minute. You may not be a billionaire because you're listening to this over here. You want to become one someday. When you do, by the way, wear your t-shirt and blue jeans. In the meantime, you're rising up in your organization. You're rising up in credibility. Dress professionally as you go through. Maintain the eye contact with the audience because those are the people you're trying to appeal to, and you want to connect with that audience as you go through. So, and then at the very end, you want to close with a bang and have remembered remarks. Here's 4 ways to close. One, and maybe the most important one, is you want to end with strength and power. These are going to be your most remembered remarks at the entire time. So you spent all this time talking, and they're going to probably forget about the bulk of it. But now's your chance to emphasize what you said, because they're going to probably walk away with this, thinking these last final words in their mind, and they're going through, oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah. And so you want to sit down there and call to action. We have challenges ahead of us, and I'd like all of us to work closer together, talk to each other more than ever before, so we can rise to the occasion and meet these challenges and more. Close with an exclamation point, a call to action. Ask them to do something after everything that you said in the process, or do a quick summary. I want to remind you of my 3 main points as we go through. First, we talked about this one. Second, about this one. Use your fingers because your fingers can be an illustrator. And people like a linear process to repeat and remember as you go through. Remember, on a presentation, you don't want to have a lot of bullet points. You want to sit down and have 3, 4, maybe 5. After that, they're going to forget about the points after 5. But 3 is the ideal if you can do that. 4 if you have to, but 3 is the ideal. But use it as you go through the process. Do a quick summary. Tell a story, a brief story. Ideally, it should relate to the points in the presentation, and there should be a moral to the story. And by the way, tell them the moral of the story. Don't let them guess what it might be, because they'll be guessing about it. So tell them the moral story and why you told it. And then hope is always something incredible. We like it. There's something in our human psyche that always sits there and looks for something you can grasp in the future and hope for. Have an uplifting comment, a close that inspires. People have hope and a belief in the future that can be better than ever before. So tell them what you'll say it, and then tell them what you told them. Capture their attention and hold on to it. Just like you would if you're in a fishing chair and you got a big fish over there. You want to hold on to them until they're all exhausted in the process, because you sat there and give them what they came for, because you hooked them in and they listen and they leave satisfied. Make certain you capture their attention, build credibility with yourself and with them. Take care.